And yes, it is Friday. I know. People keep telling me, Barbara, tone it down. You're a little too loud. What you doing? Get in my ears. I'm like, I am? They said, yes. Well, let me get louder. It's Friday. Welcome to the Diamond Experience Factor with Barbara Beckley and guests. And oh my God, this is going to be power packed today. So I'm not going to be talking that much because I want to bring in, we got the champ coming in, and you're going to understand more about that. And then after that, we have some wonderful ladies that are going to be talking about what their experience is going to be in the Level Up conference that Kern is putting on in April. So we're going to be bringing in some ladies every Friday so you can see what they're about. They're going to tell they're not going to tell everything about what they're going to talk about because you got to go to the conference. But they're going to be coming on every week. But before we even bring all that on, I always had to have a quote, just a little inspiration here, right? So I was thinking today, I was going to show my three L's. Live every moment, laugh every day, love beyond words. Live every moment, laugh every day, love beyond words. I always tell people I keep my little things here around my house, and this stays right next to my computer every day because I always got to remind myself every time you wake up, it's another chance to level up. I know I'm taking some words from the conference, but it's another chance for you to say, I want to get on my goals, whatever you're trying to do. I always tell people, well, I didn't get done what I had yesterday. Yesterday's gone. It's gone. We got to move on. We got to keep going. We can't go look back. Now, if you want to bring some, goals that you didn't do today, that's on, that's what you want to do. That's what you want to do. But we don't want to go back and start saying, well, I didn't get this done. I didn't get that done. No, that's time wasting now. You're wasting time. So you got to move forward. So you want to live every single moment. And then you see everybody always say, well, why you're always laughing and smiling and everything? I say, yeah, because you know what? I don't have to be here laughing and smiling. I have to get up today. This might have been my last day. So yes, I'm going to laugh. I'm going to smile. I'm going to just enjoy the moments. Enjoy the moments, as we say. And then this is the thing that all of the people that are coming on today, love beyond works. Love beyond works. Every person that's coming on, they have a heart of gold and they just love. And that's why they're where they're at right now in life. When you love, when you build relationships, when you give, that's what it's all about. And it comes back to you twofold. I always tell people when I'm talking to people, I said, in your business, all you gotta do is build relationships. Well, sometimes I don't get the clients and everything. That's okay because see, you're building relationships. People are going to remember how Maya Angelou always said, they're going to remember how you made them feel. They're going to remember how you made them feel, and they're going to come back twofold. You're always going to get your blessings back when you put out that love. So with that said, let's start. Let me see now, because I'm producer and everything else. You know how that goes when you have your show. So right now, we're going to get into a quick sponsor, and then we're going to go right into the show. So let me see we got here. Be right back. Yes, 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 yes. I keep telling people I'm getting me some drums. I don't care. Now I'm gonna do it. I've been saying it for 3 months now that I'm loving every time I hear that music going on. And I always tell people now I'm gonna age myself. Everybody know Phil Collins, right? Come on now, Genesis, Phil Collins, you know. Well, anyway, I love Phil Collins. I can the heat of the night and come on now, Miami Vice. Okay, that's okay. I want to keep it moving. But yeah, I love the beat. So right now we are going to bring in the comeback champ. This okay, I got to calm down. I've been excited about bringing this man on for the last month. Ever since we talked, that he said I will come on your show, Barbara. So, and you know I got to do the justice. I'm always talking about the women are queen diamonds because you know the diamond factor and everything. But he is a king. He is a king. He is the comeback champ of the comeback champs. He's a global renowned giant in sales. If you haven't heard about Ched Brown in sales, that I don't know where you at, and your head is in somewhere in the sand. He dominates. Now, come on now, dominates the sales space. Dominates. When you hear dominate, come on, think about that. He coaches over 1,000 business leaders in the world. Okay. Okay. And he's like, the one thing is he created the sales team guru. Now that's just a snippet. That's just like a small little snippet of what I'm talking about, Jay Brown. But he's going to come on and he's going to tell us basically one thing I always ask all my guests is, how did you start? I love hearing the stories about how they started because, you know, we all don't start. I didn't start coming in as soon as I came out and said, okay, I'm going to do a show. This took some long things. So I know this man has a story behind it, and that's why he's progressing so much in his life. But I have to do him justice because I got to bring him in the right way. So I want to show just a short clip about this king. Here we go. Yes.
What's going on? Well, it's a great day, Barbara Beckley. How are you doing? It is an honor and a privilege, a treat and a treasure to be here. I couldn't wait to be part of the Diamond experience. Like, this is it. Like, this is the moment. I'm so not so much pumped, but I'm so excited about what you're doing. So I just want to acknowledge you, Barbara, for this platform. I love watching. I love all the production, and I love how you're helping everybody have that diamond experience, no matter what their background is, no matter what their social economic status is, no matter what they're going through in life. If they're doing really, really well, they can be a bigger diamond. And if they need to get there, you can help them get through that process. So thank you so much, Barbara, for having me here. I'm excited.
I know. Shay, you just don't know. I mean, when I first met you, I was like, I got to get on I got to get there. You were having that summit and then come back. And I was like, oh no, I got to sign up like today. And ever since then, it's just been this journey. You've been teaching me so much. I mean, watching your show at night and just how you just give that love out. I mean, you can just feel it, and then you just that energy. So I was like, okay, I got to up my game. I got to up my game. So, Mr. Brown. So now what I wanted to, because I know the timing of what today, which I should have just made this an hour, but I was like, if I could just get something today, I was like, I'm going to get it from you. So we're just going to go right into it. We're going to go right into it. So like I always ask my guests, because I always look at, and you say this a lot too, about a person's story, where they came from, how they came from here to here. And I know you use the comeback champ, which I'm loving that. So just give us a little snippet on, how you got to where you're at now.
Sure. Well, I guess where I'm at now is the individual that's able to help entrepreneurs help the world by helping them really serve more and then get paid. And they call that sales. So the biggest challenge facing entrepreneurs today is how do they fill their programs? How do they sell their product? But more importantly, how do they scale their business? And many of them are doing it and they don't have the resources. So we provide a sales team that allows someone to help them get their message out, which generates revenue that helps them really have the resources that are necessary to execute the vision they have for the people they were called to serve. But it didn't always start that way. In about a minute or two, I wasn't wired as a salesperson. I grew up, man. I'm just the son of a Dr. Camby B. Jeffers, who was a Pentecostal preacher, a bishop back in the 70s when it wasn't popular, right? And it was only like 38 members of the church and 25 of us were kids. So I had to learn how to get up and learn how to talk. And I was a stutter. I mean, a serial stutter with a problem. But Mother Dear told me something back then, and I'll share this with you that is so important. I remember I was in the third grade, Miss Kurt's class, and we had to get up and talk about something, and I couldn't talk as well. So everyone was laughing at me because I was trying to get it out. And when I went home and I talked to Mother Dear and told her, they said I got a problem, I might have to get a counselor, might get some help. And she said, "You don't have a problem." I'm like, what did it say? I stutter. She says, no. Your brain just thinks faster than everyone else. So you've got to slow down and help them. And you know what? I believe that. Mother was a lie, by the way. It took me until I was like in high school to figure that out. But it was a lie, by the way. But for so long, it gave me the confidence. It gave me the courage to keep trying and keep going, although people might have been making fun of me. And so how does that relate to you? How does that relate to you? Well, for someone like myself, if you're an entrepreneur or you're a dualpreneur or you're someone out there that's trying to help other people and you found yourself having trouble, don't worry about that. I couldn't speak and I wasn't sure I could do this. And now I have an opportunity to be on this show, which is an honor. The Diamond Experience. Come on, somebody, the Diamond Experience. But to get there, I had to get laid off. I've only worked for 2 companies my entire career. I worked for Citibank after undergraduate, went to Morgan State University in Baltimore, Maryland, didn't do sales. Then I went to Johns Hopkins University for graduate school, didn't do sales. I worked for Verizon for 9 years. They laid me off back on May 31st, 2004. Found myself in a crisis. I go home, decide I'm going to start a business. That didn't work. 90 days later, I was tired. I was frustrated because I ran out of money. And hence I learned the golden rule in business. Jot this down in your notes. Put this, this might be your first note. The golden rule in business is to never run out of money. Like that's the golden rule in business. And so running out of money, I went through a second divorce. My wife decided to leave me. And that's tough. Okay. How many people out there know when you go through some things and you add money pressure, it can add a lot of stress. Understand. But then my 2 sons decide they're going to come live with me. That's not how the story normally goes, right? So now they're living with me. So now I'm broke. Now I'm burning through my 401k. I don't suggest any of you do that, by the way. And I'm feeling like a failure. And then here's where I'm going. I'm coming to you, Barbara. I'm upstairs working. Then my sons, I get a knock at the door. They're like, Dad, someone's still in the car. What? I run downstairs. I look out the window and there's my Lexus truck. Now, I love that Lexus truck, by the way. It was a white pearl Lexus truck, 360 RX. I mean, RX 300. Y'all don't know about that truck. And I'm like this. I give the guy a nod, the tow man. He gives me a nod back. I look over at my sons and I tell them, don't worry. The car is just going to the garage. I lied. And it was in that moment. Here's how I got there, Barbara. It was in that moment that I had the never again moment. Now, have you ever had that moment in your life? That never again moment, like never again would you find yourself borrowing money from a family member that you couldn't pay back. Never again would you have to lie to your kids and feel like a failure as a father, feel like a failure as a husband, feel like failure as an entrepreneur, and feel like failure as a man. It was then, and that's very serious. I'm going to give you the fast forward version, but that was very serious. But it was in that moment, that was a defining moment for me because I made a decision. I said, in order for me to stay in business, I've got to learn from somebody how to help people and how I can get paid. And hence, I learned the golden rule. And I'll come to you in 1 minute, Barbara. Here's what I learned. This is the point to her story. This is why I tell you that story. So you understand the person you see today ain't the person that was a few years ago. is the mentor along the journey said, Shay, focus on sales training. I said, sales training? I'm not a sales trainer, man. I'm a business consultant. But nobody was hiring me to do any business consulting at all. Anyway, although my shingle out the door, it said Coach Shay on it. No one hired me. He said, learn how to serve. Learn how to serve. And if you do that, the money will come. Here's the point to you. If you're an entrepreneur right now, jot this down in your notes. Selling equals service. Selling equals service. Selling equals service. I want you to tell yourself that 7 times a day. Selling equals service. How can I serve? How can I add value? How can I solve a problem? Selling equals service. And when you serve, you don't have to chase the money. The money will chase you. Put that down in your notes. That might be another golden nugget for you. Right now, she says, Shay, bring your best. You only have so much time. Look, don't chase the money, add value, and the money will chase you. And so what I learned there, and this is what I want to give to you, because selling is not a dirty word. Selling is not something you're doing to be sleazy. Selling is not something you're doing to try to convince somebody to do something they don't want to do. I gave you the definition. I want you to hear me. Selling equals service. It's created the biggest breakthrough for my clients. Selling equals service. And so if you think about it, even if you have resistance to selling right now, I want to leave this with you. This is very important. Don't miss this. This is very important to the backstory. And I had to get this in my brain. I said, okay, if selling equals service, selling equals service, if selling equals service, and I hate to sell. I hate to sell, but I needed it. Like I hated selling, but maybe some of you need to pay your mortgage. You hate selling, but you hate not being able to cut the lights on. You hate not having heat. You hate not having air conditioning, right? And so think about this. Preachers are selling faith every single week. And I love preachers. My mom was a preacher. I grew up in the Pentecostal church. Everything I learned in the Pentecostal church. Teachers are selling education every single day. And I love teachers. Many of my family members are teachers and educators. I'm parents. I'm a parent. My kids are adults now, by the way. I'm a parent. Parents are selling values every day. Brush your teeth. Do the right thing. And you, every day you wake up and you sell yourself. Either you think you can or you think you can. That is a sale to yourself. So we're always selling. So my message to you is this: selling equals power. Put that down in your notes. Selling equals power. So I came today to bring you the power that you need in your business that will give you the rocket fuel so you can get the resources you need to serve so many other folks. So thanks a lot for asking that story. I'm not wired this way. I wasn't born this way. I close with this. Selling is a learned skill. Many of the clients I work with, they're good. They've got big hearts. They already believe. They're walking in their purpose. They're walking in their passion, but they're missing that third P, and that's profits. So I bring them the power. That's what selling is. Think about what does selling the power do for you? If you made more revenue in your business right now, what would you do with the money? Maybe you'd have more meaning in the world because you have more money. You do more good. Maybe you have more impact in the world because you have more income. And as my good friend Delator McNeil likes to say, at this point, you can make $1 and a difference at the same time. I'm done. But you can make $1. If that's you and you're watching right now, say make $1 and a difference at the same time. This is your moment. This is your time. Selling equals service, and selling is power. So I'm proud right now to serve folks. I'm proud to help entrepreneurs, and I'm proud to help them have a pipeline of leads of folks who can turn into buyers. That's a little of the backstory. That's how we got here. I didn't know if that's what you wanted, but I'm excited. So that's the real deal, as they say. Diamond experience up in here, up in here.
You just dropped the mic. You dropped the whatever, anything that was on the stage. You just dropped everything. Wow. See, that's why I love hearing the stories, because I tell people we just was like boom, and we were here like, okay, Barbara's doing this. No, see what I said. See, that's the connection. See, that's why I tell people that's the connection. So first of all, I always tell people, you're not alone. You're not in the boat by yourself. You're not the only one that didn't have the money. You're not the only one that had a lot of your children. You're not the only one that had to sit there and go through different, jobs and say, oh, well, I got to move forward because they just let me go. So now what do I do? Everybody has those type of stories in their life. I did. I got laid off twice, back to back. Wow. That's just partial of my story. We got a lot of stories. But right now, Shay's is showing you that, through all that, he persevered. See, that's the word that everybody, like Shay said, write down, persevere. He persevered through everything. And guess where he's at now? Comeback champ. Every time I hear about comeback champ, I think about Muhammad Ali because I see the picture behind you. When he said, the champ is here. The champ is here.
The champ is here, baby. The champ is up in here.
Up in the house. Yes. Wow, Shay. So, I want to ask you, Shay, because we still got a little more time here. Now, I know you do a lot of coaching, sales, with sales teams and making people understand how to have a team, which I'm loving because first of all, there's no I in team. And I always tell people literally, there is no I in team. If you spell team, there's no I. But I know the joke comes afterwards. But anyway, but so you build those teams, you show companies and businesses how to build those teams, Shay. So can you give me just like a glimpse of how you do that and how you tell people this is what you have to do in order to level up in your business?
Sure. One of our golden rules, and it's one of our methodologies, and I think everyone out there should have a methodology. It's something that you live by. It's principles that guide you. I've got 12 rules for life. I'm going to give you one of them because it certainly relates to where we are right now. And whether you're an entrepreneur or a dualpreneur or someone that's just a kind human being into personal professional development, which I know you are because only champions watch the Diamond Experience. Only winners watch the Diamond Experience. So you're already a winner. So I just want to acknowledge you for watching. I want to acknowledge you for being here. You are a champion. Here's one of our golden rules, our methodology. And jot this down in your notes. It's that systems beat goals every time. Now, it's 4 words. It's 4 words. It's 4 words. You can write these 4 words down. Systems beat goals every single time. And you might say, Shay, why do you always talk about systems beat goals every single time? Because systems are duplicatable. Systems are repeatable, and systems is something that you can hand off to someone else to actually do the work. And if you think about it, goals are always in the future. And the future, by definition, doesn't exist. The future is imaginary. Like our mind only operates in 3 quadrants that I'm aware of. The past, which you can do nothing about, by the way. The present, there's a moment, there's a moment, there's a moment. And something we call the future that we never get to because we're always in the present moment. So my question always is, what systems do we have right now in our business that help us to generate a pipeline of leads that turn into buyers? What systems do we have in our business to fill our programs, if that's what you're struggling with, or to sell your products, if that's what you're struggling with? What systems do you have in place so you can scale the business? And the one underlining factor that I know that helps provide that cash flow and the revenue to do all the things you want to do is sales. I talked about earlier that selling equals service. Selling equals service. Selling equals service. Let me break it down and say it a different way. And maybe this will help you as it helps so many of my clients that I work with to say, gosh, yeah, I need a system. Look, there I was running my very first marathon in Washington, D.C. It's called the Marine Corps Marathon. It's 26.2 miles. I never run a marathon in my life, but I was a young whippersnapper back then. I was a young man. I mean, I heard that Oprah Winfrey had run that marathon, and I said to myself, yo, if Oprah can do it, I know I can do that thing. I can do this thing. And so I decided to get out there, and I was going to run that marathon. I ran that marathon, showed up that day, and I got started. I mean, I was excited. Like everybody, if you run a marathon, people are all over. They're cheering for you. And Washington, D.C. is the most beautiful city in the world. That's my hometown, by the way. That's where I live right now. I love some Washington, D.C., okay? And I'm running, and I'm excited. And then the first hour goes by, and I'm excited. The second hour goes by, and then I hit something called mile 17, and bam, I hit the wall. Woo! Now, if you don't know what the wall is in a marathon, it's like in life. You hit this imaginary wall where your body stops, and it can't go any further. And I stopped. Maybe that's what's happening to you in life right now. Forget if you're an entrepreneur. Maybe you hit the wall in a marriage and it's not working. Maybe you hit the wall in your health. Got some bad news. Maybe you hit the wall in your business. It's not going the way it is. Maybe you hit the wall right now. You hit that mile 17. Pay attention. Pay attention. And so I hit that wall. So I found myself stopping. If you ever found yourself stopping in life, like, oh my gosh, I can't go any further. And I'm sitting there looking, and I wish I could tell you I just got motivated and I put my Walkman on. I know I'm telling my age. I had a Walkman back then. That's the thing that goes over your ears with a wire with some battery packs right here. And I'm looking at everybody else. Maybe you've done this. And I'm like, wait a minute. I know I'm younger than that person. Wait. That person is younger than me. Wait. That person, I know I'm in better shape than that person. I know this. But you can't do what they can do because you haven't had a system in place to train the way they did. And so I slowly got started again. That's what I'm gonna tell some of you. One of my other 12 rules of life is you can be down, but not out. And many of you watching right now, you might be down, talk about champions come back, but you ain't out. Down means you just down. Out means you gave up. I didn't quite give up, but I was certainly freaking down. And the good news about being down is you can get back up. And you can tell yourself, I'm back. I wish I could say I jumped, but I didn't. I started putting one foot in front of the other foot. And I look down. Sometimes you got to look down when you're going. You can't look at everybody else. You can't look at what they're doing in their business and in their life. And I said, if I can just do another 50 yards and another 50 yards. And I kept putting one foot in front of the other. I finished the race, 5 hours and 52 minutes. Okay. I'm not proud of that time, but I finished. Here's the point, Barbara. I'm coming back to you that I want to bring to you. Here's why I tell you that story. Here's what it means to you, for everybody out there. No matter if you're going to the next level right now, I want you to jot this down in your notes. Champions always come back. It's one of our core 12 rules of life. Champions always come back down, but you're not out. You need a system. So the next year, I told myself, I'm going to hire a coach. I'm going to get a team. Now, maybe that's what some of you are in your life right now. You need to put the right people on the team at the right time to get to the next level. I went to this team. I'm done. I'm coming to you in 1 minute, Barbara. I go to this team, and I'm there. And it's training. Now, they train for the marathon. It was the Miami Marathon every week. And they do all this training during the week. We run as a group. We're all 9-minute milers, so we run as a group. They said, who has had experience is worried? I raised 2 hands, because I was okay with that. Yeah, I'm looking around these people. They don't look like me, okay? I'm like, look, I'm worried. I hit mile 17 last time, and I don't know if I can go past that. And I've never run past that since then. And they said, okay, Shay, when we get to mile 17, we're all going to help Shay Brown. And we're all going to say this affirmation. We're going to say this chant. And the chant's going to be, I'm trained, I'm strong, and I'm ready. I said, wait a minute, we don't say that. Now, in my neighborhood, I'm not going to be running around the streets talking about I'm trained, I'm strong, I'm ready. No, sir. I've got a Walkman. I've got my music right here, and I'm ready to go. I got my Les Brown right here on my, I love Les Brown on my hip. He said, if you can look up, you can get up. But anyway, we trained. We got to mile 17 when the time came, and they started looking at me, and they started, I'm trained, I'm strong, I'm ready. I'm like, no, I'm trained, I'm strong. So I started saying, I'm trained, I'm strong, and I'm ready. I'm trained, I'm strong, and I'm ready. I ran past mile 17. Now I had to be trained, I had to be strong, and I had to be ready. When the race came, and I'm done now, when the race came, when I hit mile 17, and my team started chanting with me, it gave me energy. That's why sometimes you need a team. It ain't about Shay Brown. Systems beat goals every single time. They had a system for how we were going to train. They had a system for how we were going to eat. They had a system for how we were going to support each other. And we did other things with other people, but we started saying, I'm trained, I'm strong, and I'm ready. I'm trained, I'm strong, and I'm ready. You can even repeat after me if you're home right now. It doesn't matter what's going on. This is the diamond experience. They said, Shay, bring an experience. But I want you to know this right now. Just tell yourself, I'm trained, I'm strong, I'm ready.
And I'm ready.
I'm trained, I'm strong, and I'm ready.
And I'm ready.
You got this. You can do this. And as a result, we finished the race. We did very well. So I tell you, the systems beat goals every single time, especially when you have a team, because success is a team sport. You can only get so far by yourself. Back over you, Diamond. This is the Diamond experience. You're trained, you're strong, and more importantly, you're ready. You got this. Champions always come back. Always.
Woo. Oh, Shay. See, that's a lot of unpacking right here. Okay, the first thing I want to say is, yes, well, congratulations in finishing that race. I don't care what, this is what I want to say. You said it took like 5 hours. You were like, I always tell people, in the race of life, if you got to crawl, if you got to walk, if you got to skip a little bit, if you got to run, whatever you got to do, stay in the race. Don't be on the sidelines. Don't watch people. Just get in there. I don't care if you're the last person coming in saying, oh, and it's crawling. It's like, oh, my back, whatever. No, but you're doing it. See, some people just watching you saying, oh, she's crawling. Oh, her back hurts. Oh, his back hurts. And you look like this, you look over there, you're like, well, you know what? At least I'm in the race. You're watching me. Why are you watching me? You need to get in the race too and stay there. So that's what I just wanted to bring that home, because that was confirmation. I'm always talking about when I tell people, you got to stay in the race. I don't care what time long it takes. We're not looking at that. I don't look at the fact that, because if you start looking back, then you're going to stop. You know how, Shay, because you look back, that slows you down. Just keep it going. And then you have to pay attention to anybody. You don't even look around when you're going like this. You don't know who's going slow, fast, crawling, hurting, because it doesn't matter, because you're just kind of staying. You just say, I got to go. I got to do it. So thank you, Shay, for explaining that. Yes, a team process. I love what you said.
Success is a team sport, for sure.
Yes, it's a team sport. Now, oh my God, I hate the time. But anyway, Say I won't have to beg you again to come back.
Yes, absolutely.
Come
I'd be
back
happy
many
to.
times. Yes. But I want to, today, with one thing that I tell people about excuses. Everybody has excuses sometimes. And in this day and age, especially when people in business, and right now with this pandemic, everybody kind of, that's the big excuse sometimes. Some people use the excuse to say, hey, I don't know, I can do my business. Some people use the excuse that says, hey, now I can be more creative and move forward in my business. So I always tell people to do the second half of it and not so much of the first. So Shay, and when you've been seeing people, you've been, coaching people and everything, and especially in the sales, because I know people said they're hurting in that area. What is like the challenge besides, I don't even want to call it pandemic because that don't have to be a challenge, but what do you see as the biggest challenge?
The number one challenge facing entrepreneurs today is getting in front of qualified people who have an interest, want, or desire. Let me tell you what I mean by that, because I'm part of the Puff Daddy generation, okay? I have my AARP card. I got remix versions on everything that I've been doing, and the older I get, the worse it's getting, right? And so when we first got started in business, Barbara, I used to always be told, find a lead, sell a lead. Find a lead, sell a lead, right? And that's what we were told for so long. And so we said, who has a need? If they got a need, I can help them. But the person could need to lose weight and do nothing. The person could need to save money and do nothing. And so it's not about a need. That was the old way. Let me tell you what the paradigm shift has been, especially over the last 18 months. The paradigm shift has been this. This is the Shea Brown remix version, by the way. Or my sons would say, drop a beat. I got to have my own beat in there, right? But here it is. Is you got to find a person with an interest, want, or desire. Let me say it again: an interest, want, or desire. So some of my clients are struggling to attract clients who actually have money, and some of my clients are struggling to attract folks so they can have a pipeline of leads of people who have an interest, want, or desire. Here's what I mean by that. Here's the point that I want to make. And it's so in harmony with one of my 12 rules of life. And this will help you get in front of more qualified people. And I'm glad you do this so well, Barbara. But one of my 12 rules of life, we've got 12 of them, we'll talk about that another time, is that collaboration crushes competition. Put that down in your notes if you're taking notes. Collaboration crushes competition. And so many times we try to do everything by ourselves versus partnering with other individuals who could help us get to where we want to get to. Collaboration crushes competition. Why is that, Shay? Because success is a team sport. You can only get so far by yourself. So when it comes to finding someone with an interest, want, or desire, if someone right now has a need to do something, they may not do it. But I love buying t-shirts. Okay, I got a t-shirt problem, and I love buying running shoes. I got another problem, right? And so if I got an interest in a new t-shirt, or I got a want in something different, I will go online, I will find it, I will pay whatever I got to pay, I'll pay the shipping to get it to me. Why? Because I have a want, I have an interest, not a need. And so here's my challenge. Here's what I say to the entrepreneur. What is the system? Remember, systems beat goals every single time. What is the system you have in place to get in front of people who have a problem? Jot this down in your notes. People will pay you today if you help them solve a problem today. I was working with an individual in about 60 seconds, and they had the same problem. Now, they're a very seasoned professional. The problem was they were tired of talking to people who were unqualified. They were tired of having people on their list that just really weren't serious buyers. They were kicking tires. The solution to that was we call the Evergreen Revenue Playbook. And the Evergreen Revenue Playbook says, how do I have the right system in place that allows me to collaborate to get in front of folks who are qualified? Mm-hmm. We implemented that system. She brought on what we call the giver's economy. She wasn't given to give. She was given to serve. I told you before, and I know you didn't shout on that, and that's okay. I told you that selling equals service. Selling equals service. Selling equals service. So I took it from a selling mindset to a serving mindset to serving those people who need it the most. And as a result, today her business is doing very, very well. So the number one challenge talking to entrepreneurs today is they're just not in front of enough qualified folks. And that's what the sales team is able to do for them. In many cases, they become their lead generation machine that helps people help others. And isn't that what you got in business for at the end of the day? To help someone else do something better because you were given a gift, you were given a talent, and your vision is much bigger than yourself. Yes. Yeah. Success is a team sport. Collaboration crushes competition. Start collaborating more.
Start collaborating. And that's why I'm loving what we're doing. That all brings it back to today is how, I came, I seen you. I was like, oh my God, the champ. I got in your summit. I'm loving it. I'm going in from being your summit again in a few more months. See,
Yeah.
I'm already I'm already there. I think you're not gonna be able to get rid of me, Shay, until you just say, you know what, Barbara, you gotta go. I'm hooked.
Oh, you're amazing.
Say,
I
I'm
love your
hooked.
energy.
I am hooked. But yeah, Shay, so thank you so much. Now,
Thank you.
Shay, any last words? Because I know you're always talking about this is your January 1st. So any
Yeah.
last words regarding that to the listeners? And
Sure.
I'm gonna take
One of
myself
our
down real quick.
methodologies. Yeah, one of our methodology, and everybody should have a methodology, is today is my January 1st. Now, if you've enjoying this conversation and you're in the conversation, I think it's okay, Barbara. If they want to connect with me, can I tell them how to connect with me? Or we'll do that later. I couldn't remember. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll do it now or later.
Tell them right now.
Oh, okay. She's talking to you. Okay. I want to do today is my January 1st. I don't want to miss that. But if you're out there right now and you're like, Shay, I love this. I want the playbook. It's time for me to really build my business. It's time for me to fill my programs, to sell my products, to serve more people. And that's you just need the playbook. It's my gift to you. There's no cost. It's my gift. Just text the word playbook. Text the word playbook. Now, it's just one word, playbook. I'm going to give you my number. You're going to follow these instructions and we're going to send you all the details. Text the word playbook to 202, like open up your browser right now on your phone, like on your phone right now. Open that up and text the word playbook to 202-270-1662. Again, 202-270-1662. Once you text the word playbook, just text the word playbook, and we're going to send you the playbook that you need. We're going to send you the 7 proven systems that we use. Put your first name so we know who you are. Put your last name so we know who you are. Put your best contact number in your email. Some of you want us to email it to you, and some of you want us to text it to you. So we want to make sure we get to you. Text playbook to 202-270-1662. Sorry about that, Barbara. I just want to make sure that the folks out there know that they can stay in this conversation over and beyond today. But here's the point you want me to make. Today is my January 1st. One of our 12 rules for life is at number 1, by the way, of all the rules is number 1. And today is my January 1st. You can hear me. Today is my January 1st. It represents not a January 1st date on the calendar. It represents one of those moments throughout the day where you can make a decision. And there's probably 1,000 decisions you make throughout the day. And any one of those decisions could change the trajectory of your life. You make a decision. That's a January 1st moment. You're going to work out. See, that's a January 1st moment. Or you make a decision that you're going to binge watch and watch Netflix or Hulu or Prime Video. That's a January 1st moment. You make a decision you're going to eat hamburgers and French fries, salt, pepper, ketchup. My son's like hot sauce. Got to have some of that. Or you can open up the refrigerator. And inside the refrigerator, there's some kale, January 1st moment. There's some broccoli, January 1st moment. There's some carrots, January 1st moment. Today is my January 1st, represents that your past no longer represents the future. You get a fresh start. You get a do-over. So I want you to tell yourself right now in this moment that today is my January 1st. I'm going to put some systems in place to reach my goals. Today is my January 1st. I'm going to put a system in place so I can serve more and help more. Today is my January 1st. I will collaborate because collaboration crushes competition. Today is your January 1st. Today is your January 1st. If you're listening right now and you're watching, and you can take your right hand and you can put it over your heart, you can feel that heart beating right now, and there's oxygen going in your lungs, then you have a fresh start. You got a new opportunity. And doesn't that feel good? Isn't that what life is about? So now that you know that today is your January 1st, take action. As my mama would say, it's time for your faith to hit your feet and start taking some action and do the things you know you should do right now. This is your moment. This is your time. Today is your January 1st. And for you, put the sunglasses on. The future is bright and the best is yet to come. Today's your January 1st. The best is yet to come. Today is your January 1st. And you're on the Diamond Experience with Barbara. Today is your January 1st. Thanks for having me, Barbara. You're amazing. You're incredible. I love what you're doing with this program. And I love how you collaborate at a time when people are not collaborating. No, Barbara is collaborating. Why? Because collaboration crushes competition. You follow Barbara's systems.
Yes. Thank you, Shay. Oh my God. Definitely. We need to talk. You got to come back. The comeback champ. Champ is here.
Thank you so much.
Shay.
God bless you.
God bless you too. Peace.
We out of here. Bye.
I'm hanging on your every word. The love inside, I feel it burn. I've never felt this way before. I've had a taste, now I want more. So here we are, just you and me. I'm overwhelmed when you touch me. You talk so sweet, I hear the sound. 'Cause when you do, my feet won't touch the ground.
Whew. It is hot. You know how they say that old song? It is hot in here. It is hot in here. The champ came. He blew us away with so much information. And I'm sitting there writing down. Now, if anybody can take a pen and a piece of paper and started writing some stuff down, again, what's wrong? What's wrong? Something's not right. So yes, Shay Brown, thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming on the show. You did hear he said that, we can talk and we can come back. So hopefully, we can talk about that because if you missed him, I'm telling you, this is on video. Get with Shay Brown. Oh my God, he is a legend. And in my mind, he is the epitome of, like he said, collaboration. And that's what I learned. You got to build a relationship. You got to have collaboration. And then talking about collaboration, we're going right into our next segment right now, which we have some queens, some diamond queens in the house. And these queens, I'm telling you, one of them, she's gonna laugh at me. Hopefully, she'll get a laugh out of this. Her name is Lee. I've been watching this woman. I've been trailing her through Clubhouse, through all the summits she's in, through the book she's in, and then Miss Vera. Oh my God! Just last night when she sent me an email, she was like, "Barbara, I didn't know, but oh my God, hallelujah! God answers dreams. Faith, women. I'm telling you, women of faith. Yes, yes, yes. So important. So between these two ladies, we're going to bring them up right now, and we're going to have some conversation with them. They are a part of the Level Up, I call it experience, movement, summit, conference, everything that's good under Mrs. Kern, the queen of the queens. She puts on so many platforms for us to come on and like I said, I have to use my brand a little bit to make us all shine. So with that, gotta do it right before I bring the queens on. Here we go. Hi, ladies.
Hi.
Lee is back. Vera is here first time, and I'm just excited. Yes. I told people this is an epic show. I mean, we started off with Shay, and then now we're bringing in like the queens with their crowns on. And we talking of, yes.
You have a tiara. Don't make me get it.
Bring it. You a queen. You better bring that tiara on. I tell you. No shame in your tiaras. No shame. So how you wonderful queens doing today?
Blessed.
Yes. You look blessed.
Thank you. God is good.
God is good. You two look like you're just glowing, like boom. I mean, I just see the Lee's over there. You're camera ready this morning. Camera ready. Right. I'm loving it. So, like I said, we're bringing these queens on, and I know there's some kings too that's going to be in the Level Up. But right now, we're talking about the queens. Right now, we're talking about the ladies. And I always think about, because I see, you, Lee, and I see you, Vera, that we're hustlers. I'm going to tell people we're hustlers. We are sitting there. We're making sure that people see that we're just not talking, but we're walking to talk. But when we go out there and we put ourselves out there in these summits, we put our lives out there because we talk about our stories and our lives. And that takes a lot. A lot of people, they're kind of like, I don't know if I want to do that. And I told myself a long time, well, I didn't want to do that either because there's a lot of good, bad, and ugly. Yes. But then I said, okay, how am I to connect with potential people that I can have a relationship with? How am I going to connect with people that I can have clients with? How am I going to connect just to make sure that we all understand that we're all in the same boat sometimes? I've been there. Lee's been through some things. Where you've been through something. We're going to get to that in a minute. But when I hear those stories, I'm like, whew, I'll be like, not by myself. I got some queens with me that's carrying that load too that I was carrying. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And then through all that, I always tell people, when you hear the stories of everybody, that gives you hope that you can deal through it, move forward in it, and be that person that can just persevere and do what they need to do. So that's what I want to bring out first. I always like hearing the stories. So I want to start with Mrs. Vera. Just give us a little glimpse on your story and how you made it from, where you were before to like, ta-da, I'm the queen. I'm on level up stage.
Well, I grew up with no confidence, no self-esteem. I was bullied and ridiculed. People told me things like, you're stupid, you're dumb, you're fat, you're ugly, you're nothing, you'll never be anything. And so growing up like that, I didn't have any confidence. I didn't have any self-esteem, and I didn't understand my purpose. And I remember asking God, what is my purpose? Why was I born? Mm-hmm. And I went to a seminar through my job. And the facilitator, she was so bubbly and so enthusiastic. And I remember going up to her. I was in my early 20s by that time. And I said to her, I want to do what you do. And she became my mentor and got me involved in doing all these different trainings to become a speaker. And I went through Toastmasters and all of these things to try to perfect the craft. And my very first training was with a group of kids, and it was called Adventures and Attitudes. And that Saturday, I'm going through my thing. What is my purpose? Why was I born? And I get all this mail from these children stating that they had, and then I knew this is what I'm supposed to do. And so I've been doing trainings and speaking and working with companies, organizations, schools, and churches. I developed an after-school program for kids. The first one was called Poetry and My Vision, because I am a poet. And after that program, I've developed several more. And I did end up going back to school and getting my degree and my master's. And I just thank God that for this level up opportunity. If you don't mind, I'd like to share this one poem that I share with parents and teachers. Children are people too. Show them the good inside of you. Give them praise for tasks they do. See their light as it shines through the light which comes from inside of you. Children need all we desire so much: the love, the hug, the kiss, the tender touch. The attitudes we express to them are the messages they learn to send. From examples like you and me, our children grow to be what they see. Do you show hatred, indifference, or love? Do you yell and scream no matter what in spite of? Have you shared kind words with your child today? Have you truly listened to what they had to say? Or did you just ignore and continue on your way, hoping they get the message and go somewhere and play? Children are an extension of all that we are, and the most valued God-given gift by far. There are so many things they must grow to understand. We must guide and lead them with loving, outstretched hands. Teach and treat children as people too. See their light shine bright through the light which comes from inside of you. And what
I'm sorry, Farrah, but that was good. That was awesome. See, I'm loving how you talked about the children are people too. They are. A lot of times we kind of move forward in our lives and we kind of kind of, I hate to say, I can't have to say this, forget. We can't forget because they're around us. You see the children here and there. But if you're so busy doing that, and you'd be like, wait a minute, I was bullied when I was younger. I was shy and stuff. These children, they might be going through the same thing. Let me go back and talk to
Absolutely.
them. Let me go back and talk to them.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. But what I found though, I'm doing these trainings with kids, trying to lift them up and encourage them and motivate them. But then they're going home to parents that may not be doing the same thing. So I developed a program called Instilling Greatness in Myself and My Children, because for me to hear a little 10-year-old boy say, I can't stand to look myself in the mirror.
Ooh.
Yes. I mean, that just broke my heart for a child, a 10-year-old, to say, I can't stand. And so apparently he's been told I'm ugly and all these kinds of things. And I have to say, parents can't give what they don't have. And oftentimes parents have one of the questions that I ask in my trainings and sessions: what do you wish you had been told as a child? And I get things like, I wish I had been told I love you. I wish I had been told you're special. Well, parents, adults are saying these things. So my thoughts are, if you didn't get those things, how can you give those things? You can't give what you don't have. And you can't teach what you don't know. And so I've taken my own life experience plus education, what have you, and develop these programs because it's just kids are hurting. And with this pandemic, and people having to be together all the time, it's just an issue that needs to be addressed. And that's what I do.
That's why, see, that goes back to why you're a queen. That's why you're a queen, because you have taken what you went through and said, you know what? I have to do something about it. You just sit back and say, well, I'll let somebody else deal with the kids and that, and I'll just do what I have to do. No, you sat back, you said, no, I'm going to move forward. I'm going to create programs. I'm going to let every child know how special they are, how important they are. And they need to just move forward and don't let all that, I always call that, that talking around.
Yeah.
Just keep it moving. But see, like you said, they got to understand how to do that. Yeah. We have to give them the tools and teach them that.
Yeah.
Because Vera, you and me are like sisters. I mean, I was the same way. People told me that I'd never be about anything when I was younger. They said, you will never be what you're doing. You don't know how to talk right. You don't know how to talk to people. You're ugly. You don't look good. I mean, all that was the same thing. When you were saying it, I said, oh my God. Somebody
look at you now.
And it's look at us now. Look at us now. And that's why I was like, So, you look at the back, you say, okay. I always tell people, I say, the biggest thing when people start talking about you, just show them that your success. That's all you got to do. You don't have to say nothing. You just sit there, you just do your success. And that's why I love you ladies, how you're like, you know what, you're not looking this way or that way. You're like, you know what, whoever say whatever, I am moving forward and showing you the success in my life.
Yes.
And then look back at them and say, too, you can do it too. So, Vera, thank you so much for sharing that. That. So, Miss Lee, let's get to you real quick, lady. I know you've been, this lady, we're going to have to get a point. We got to do something together. Because we do. I mean, you in Clubhouse, you rocking Clubhouse. I mean, every time I try to get in the room, and then I'm like, Dad, these people, I got to squish in here.
He's all in here. The hustle game is strong because we all have, and I was listening to Vera, we have a message that we need to share out to the world. So we gotta, if there is not room for us, we have to bring a seat. We have to bring a chair so we can force our way to the table into the conversation. So that's why you're seeing me everywhere. I'm seeing you, Barbara. We're all like, we're just like the yin and the yang. I love it.
I said, this is so awesome. And then when sometimes it pings, it tells me like when, where people, I said, oh, she's over there. Let me go over there. And she's in there. I said, oh, let me see. Because see, one thing about it, when the queens and they're doing what they need, what they're doing, like Vera and Lee's doing, and others, if you see them somewhere, yes, I'm telling people, that's the red light. No, that's the green light to tell you need to go where they are because they're collaborating. Something's going on where you probably need to catch what they're doing and be a part of that. Either you're learning, you're giving value to it, or you're just sitting back and just what I always tell people, the biggest thing you're doing is you're celebrating them and lifting them up. Sometimes you have to talk. Sometimes you got to be there with them. Be there with Lee. Be there with Vera. Hold them up. Lift them up. We tear each other down too much. Just be there as a cheerleader sometimes.
Absolutely.
So with that, but Lee, I won't take it now. Tell them who you are, where you came from, and why you the queen with the tiara.
Yeah, I know, right? I should have got next time I'm on your show, Barbara. I'm bringing that tiara with
Yes.
me.
Yes.
So I'm here because honestly, like I said earlier, I have a story to tell, right? And hearing Vera, it did, our stories, unfortunately, so many of us have similar stories. So many of us have experienced those same things. So me as a child, I was always told, you talk white.
Mm.
Why do you talk that way?
Yeah.
Right? You think you're better than us. You think you're better than XYZ. I was put down, right? I was, your face is long, you have a horse face. It's you're taller and bigger than everyone, than everyone else. Why are you so fat? Why are you so big? Right? It's the things that were said to me that really kind of formulated who I was and how I went about life. Right? I remember a time, and my mother, God bless her, we had a challenging relationship before she passed away, or when I was younger. And I still remember, she had me when she was 15. I still remember a time when I was maybe 16 or 17, and I was in our house, in our home, and I had, come out of my bedroom to go to the kitchen, and she had a male friend over. And when he left, she came and said, he asked me why you were enticing him. Right. Now, mind you, I came out of my bedroom, I went to the kitchen, I got something to drink, went back to my bedroom. I'm a teenage girl. I had on shorts and maybe a t-shirt or something. And she came back to me and said, he asked me, why were you enticing him? Why were you walking around looking that way when he was in the house? So there was this feeling of, okay, well, what am I doing? Do I need to hide who I am? Do I need to be smaller? Do I need to minimize myself in order so that I don't get that type of attention, unwanted attention from grown men, right? And so, there were messages given to me, right? That you're different, you're this, you're that, throughout my entire young life, and for me, the quickest way that I could escape that was to join the military. I joined the Marines, because that would get me as far as I could away from the things that I was going through, the negative talk, you're different. Why do you speak that way? You're just going to be here just like we all are. Why do you think you're better than us? And so I literally ran. I ran to the other side of the United States when I joined the military. And in that experience, on one hand, I realized that I was stronger than I thought I was. And on the other hand, with that, while I was in Marine Corps, I also became a single mother myself to a beautiful little boy. And I got married to a man who was abusive. In that experience, everything that I had built in myself, the voice that I had found was crushed. Yes. It was diminished. Yes. Because it doesn't take just one time for your abuser to transform you into something else. It is systemic, and it is daily, and it is constant. It is a constant, just demeaning of who you are as a person, and as a woman, and as a mother. And I went through that. I lost who I was. I know I did. I know I lost who I was. I lost my voice until the day I had to stand up. I literally had to stand up from the ground. And Barbara, I was listening to Shay Brown on your show. And what he said moved me so much, because he said, you have to get up and you have to put one foot in front of the other every single time. You cannot stop. And that's literally what I had to do. I had to pick myself up from the ground, and I had to put one foot in front of the other when I called 911 to report him for domestic abuse. I had to rediscover who I was, because I had allowed myself to be this person. I had allowed myself to make excuses. I had allowed myself to say, well, maybe this is what marriages were like, because when I was young, I saw my mother being abused. It's the messages we get when we're child. I saw her being chased by her boyfriend in the house, outside of the house, with a knife, going after her as she was screaming for her life. I saw this. And so when I then experienced it 15 years later, it was, well, maybe I did something to deserve it. Because remember, I was 16 years old, and the man said, why is she doing what she's doing? Right? There are these messages that we get that carry over into our life. And so, at the time, I did leave. I got up from the ground, right? I called 911. I took my child and I ran again. That was my second time running. I ran again, and I reinvented myself. I moved to Virginia. I reinvented myself. I reinvented who I was. And I made a promise to myself and my child that I would never put us in a situation like that again, that I would do everything in my power to create a better, different life for us. And that's what I did. I had to hunker down. I had to reclaim my confidence. I had to relearn how to hold my head up high when I walked into a room. I had to relearn who I was without the label of battered wife.
Yes.
Yes.
I had to relearn that.
Oh man, I understand that. I understand it.
I had to relearn who I was, and I had to hold my head up high. And the entire time, I am committed and I am focused. And I took those negatives of, you talk white, you talk different. Who do you think you are? You think you're better than us? And I said, you know what? I'm going to flip that on its head. Because if I can make it in corporate America with these skills, with these chameleon-like skills that I have, I'm going to make it in corporate America, and I'm going to get to that C-suite position, and I'm going to prove it to myself that I can do this. I'm going to prove it to myself that I can make it in this world. Not only did I make it in the U.S. Marine Corps for 8 years, that's literally a man's world.
Thank you for serving.
You're welcome. I had to make it, right? If you can't stand the heat, get out of the kitchen. I was the heat. I was the heat in the Marine Corps, because I had to make sure that I was able to stand toe to toe with these men and say, I am here because I belong here, right? Yeah. And I lost that skill for a little bit. I lost that awareness for a little bit, right? But then when I went into corporate America, I had to relearn that. I had to relearn how to say that I am here because I earned it. I'm here because I put blood, sweat, and tears into what I've done for my life. I'm here because I reinvented myself. I'm here because I belong here. I belong where the decisions are made. And over time, this Level Up Summit is something I've been following. Kern Cherry and you, Barbara, that's how I connected with you, and like these very powerful women, right? I've been, connecting with these powerful women because, I made it to the highest level. I got that C-suite position. I am known in my industry community. I'm, a chief HR officer. I've been president of my chapters. I've been state representative of my chapters. I've served on a board of directors as the chairwoman, first Black woman as the chairwoman of the board of directors, the chair of the board for a $25 million government contracting firm. First one ever, right? Those accomplishments, right, made me understand just how much power and authority I actually had, and that I was never, ever to give it away to anyone else again. No one was ever going to take my power away from me again. And so the Level Up Summit, I'm talking about how, stop apologizing for your success. Stop apologizing for who you are. right? Be bold, be brave, be yourself, speak up, right? Walk in that room with your head held high. If you earn that seat at the table, take your spot and spread your elbows out. Spread your elbows out, make some room. Don't curl in, spread your elbows out, right? You know, make some room for yourself because you belong, exactly, you belong there. And so, you know, all these things that, you know, that I've gone through, and in our life, you know, it ebbs and flows, and we have good and bad, and some days are better than others, but everything we have gone through has made us into the women we are today.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And the
And
success that we have. Oh, so go ahead, Barbara.
no, I would no, keep going. I was go.
Yeah. And the success that we have right now is because we were forged in fire, right? We were forged in fire and we made it through to the other side. And so, you know, leveling up is what we do every single time. We reinvent ourselves. We become better than we are every single time. And so, you know, being at this conference and being able to, you know, speak with the attendees, the men and the women, to help them understand, you know, your success has been earned. You know, don't let anyone diminish your success or who you are, or what you've earned or what you've gained in your life, because this is your life and you are the only one who can live it on your own terms. So, you know, I just, you know, thank you, Barb. I love being here on your show, Barbara. You're so motivating.